Okay, guys, the last part of factoring that we're going to review, and then factoring is never, ever, 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 ever going away. We're going to keep doing it, so it's fun, is we're going to talk about factoring completely. You know, I think a lot of times when we do factoring, it doesn't seem too bad. It's like, oh, take out the GCF. Oh, this is a trinomial. Oh, this is that. But it's when you're given a problem that just says factor completely, and there's several different things to do within the problem, it can be a little confusing. So you need to remember to always check for certain things. First thing you want to think about is that you may need to factor more than once. You know, you might take out the GCF and then have the difference of perfect squares. Or you might take out the GCF and then have a perfect square trinomial, something like that. But you want to always, 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 and I say this a million times, is take out the GCF first. Then kind of go down the list and say, okay, is there two terms? See if there's the difference of perfect squares or the sum and difference of cubes. If there's four terms, think, okay, after we take out that GCF, we're going to group first two and second two. And then if there's three terms left, check to see if it's a perfect square trinomial or just factor it traditionally. So we're just going to go through a bunch of different examples right now. So make sure you guys are writing everything down so this will help you with your homework. If I look at number one, it just says factor completely. Doesn't tell you exactly what to do. It just says factor completely. So the first thing we look for, again, I'm going to write this down because it's so important, is to take out that GCF. So I notice that in 12 and 48, we can take out the 12. So remember, the 12 comes out in front. 12 divided by 12 is just going to cancel. I'm left with x squared. 48 divided by 12 is 4. So I have x squared minus 4. Check to see if we can do more. I have two terms. Is this the difference of perfect squares? It is. What times what gives me x squared? X and x. What times what gives me 4? 2 and 2. So I have 12, and my two parentheses are going to be x plus 2 and x minus 2. And again, the beauty with factoring is once you factor it out, you can multiply it back, and you should get your original equation or expression. So again, number two, first thing, GCF. So I notice, oh, I can divide out an x from both of these. So I take out my x, and I'm left with x squared minus 16. Again, two terms. They happen to be perfect squares. So I have my x out in front. I have my two parentheses. What times what gives me x squared? X and x. What times what gives me 16? 4 and 4. And I'm going to have a plus sign in one and a minus sign in the other. All right, coming to number three. I see I have a trinomial. I have three terms. Again, first thing we're going to take out, GCF. Since we lead with a negative, we want to divide out that negative 1. So I'm going to divide out negative 1 from everything. So my negative 1 is out in front. I have 9x squared. 6 divided by negative 1 is minus 6x. And 1 divided by negative 1 is going to give me a positive 1. And then we look to see if we can further factor this trinomial, which we can't. So there is our completely factored trinomial. All right, moving along. Again, it says factor completely. That means get everything out first. GCF first. I'm going to keep saying that a million times. First thing I want to do is get my expression into standard form with the highest exponent first. So I'm going to move this negative 3x cubed, remember the sign in front stays with the term, plus 9x squared plus 12x. So now we look and we see, okay, what do we have in common? What is the GCF? Well, I see that all of these are divisible by 3, and they have an x. So since we lead with a negative, I'm going to take that negative out. So negative 3x. And when we divide, we're left with x squared. 9 divided by negative 3 is going to give me minus 3x. And then 12 divided by negative 3 is going to give me minus 4. So now I look and I say, can I factor this a little more? Are there factors of negative 4 that'll multiply to give me negative 4 and add to give me negative 3? Yes, there are. What are those factors going to be? Well, my x's are going to go in the front. I have a minus 4 and a positive 1. Doesn't matter where the 4 and 1 go, just as long as the 4 is negative and the 1 is positive. So make sure of that, guys. All right. Okay, we come to this one, and it's a little different looking. If you notice, guys, there's one term here, and there's one term here, and they are separated by a minus sign. So So your initial thought after you look for the GCF should be, is this the difference of squares? So if you think about this, x squared plus 8 quantity squared is the same as x squared plus 8 times x squared plus 8. And then what times what would give you 36x squared? Well, that would be 6x and 6x. So both of those are perfect squares, and that is a minus sign in the middle. So this is the difference of perfect squares. It just looks a little different. So I'm going to write my first parenthesis, x squared plus 8 plus 6x. And then my second parenthesis is this term right here, x squared plus 8, and then minus 6x. So now we look at this and we say, okay, let's put this in standard form. So I have x squared plus 6x plus 8. Here I have x squared minus 6x plus 8. So I have two trinomials. And I say, let me see if I can factor these a little more, break them down. Are there factors of positive 8 that'll multiply to give me positive 8, but add to give me 6? And you guys would tell me, yes, positive 4 and positive 2. So I have x plus 4 and x plus 2. So now I come over here and I say, well, are there factors of positive 8 that'll multiply to give me positive 8, but add to give me a negative 6? And yes, it's now negative 4 and negative 2. So x minus 4, x minus 2. And now that is fully factored. It's a little tricky, that one. You got to make sure you're checking all of the patterns to say, okay, look, this looks a little different, but it is the difference of perfect squares. Okay, moving ahead to number 6, I notice, first of all, what am I going to look for, guys? I'm going to say it again and again and again and again. GCF first. Is there a letter or a number that's in all 4 of these terms? No. So I go, okay, well, what's the deal? Is it 2 terms? Is it the difference of squares? Is it 3 terms? A traditional trinomial. Is it 4 terms? Yes, it is. So we have to factor by grouping. We're going to group the first 2 and the second 2. Again, remember, that sign needs to stay with that third term. So take the GCF out of this first parenthesis. They both have an x squared in common. So when I divide out x squared, I'm left with 3x plus 1. Now I come over here and I say, what can I do with negative 27 and a negative 9? Well, since we lead with a negative, we're taking that negative out. So I'm going to divide out a negative 9. And then I'm left with negative 27 divided by negative 9 is 3x. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is positive 1, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. We now have 2 terms that have a common theme. They both have a GCF that I can take out. So I'm going to take out that GCF. I write it one time out in front. Now it's gone. And I am left with my leftovers here. They get their own parentheses. So x squared minus 9. Now this is one of those times when you have to ask yourself, can I simplify any more? So I have my 3x plus 1 and I say, okay, I have 2 terms. Is this the difference of perfect squares? Yes, it is. What times what is going to give me x squared? X and x. What times what is going to give me 9? 3 and 3. And since this sign in the middle is negative, that means I have different signs in these parentheses. Therefore, the difference of perfect squares. Okay, let's look at number 7. I know this one, again, it looks a little different, but let's just think about this. What this says. This says 4x times 2x minus 1 plus, how many 2x minus 1s do I have? I have 2 of them. So 2x minus 1 times 2x minus 1. Remember, terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So I have 1 term here and 1 term here. What do we look for first, guys? The GCF. Is there a parenthesis that you see that they have in common? Yes, they both have a 2x minus 1. So that's my GCF that I'm going to take out of each of these terms. So we rewrite our GCF in the front one time, and then what happens to my leftovers? They get their own parenthesis. So I'm going to write 4x plus 2x minus 1. And then I look to see, is there anything else I can do here? Can I combine like terms? Can I factor anything? Yes, you can combine like terms. My 2x minus 1 hangs out here. I have a 4x and a 2x. When I add those together, I get 6x and then a minus 1. And you have now fully factored this expression. I know it looks different than what we're used to, but you're still going to follow the same rules, guys. First thing you do is look for a GCF. Then if that doesn't work, we go down the the list of, is it 2 terms, is it 3 terms, is it 4 terms, all that stuff. So make sure you guys took really good notes. Look back on this if you need to, and then go ahead and open up your web assigned homework, and you can go ahead and get it started and get it submitted.